So I was feeling weak and tired for a couple of months now. And I convinced myself it was because I was just ending a 10-year CEO journey in my company. The thing is that it was not exhaustion. It was cancer, colon cancer. So this is what happened. It was the third time in my life I was in an ambulance going to the hospital for an emergency surgery. And that followed by 4 months of chemo. So this is my lesson number 1 for you. Just listen to your body. I'm in a journey for that. I already listened to it. I just don't obey it yet, but I'm going to get there. So then chemo started. And chemo is something totally different. It feels like someone took you out of the outlet. So you don't have energy, you sleep a lot, and I couldn't understand what was going on with me. So I went to my doctor's appointment with a 12-slide deck to explain to him my treatment and my disease. So this is how I cope with it. So for me, it was really important to have the information. But lesson number 2, not everybody copes the same way with cancer. So find your way, but basically find your safety network that you can be vulnerable with. So when I finished the chemotherapy and all the treatment, COVID hit Brazil. And then everybody was home again. And that was wonderful for me. I know pandemic has a lot of bad sides, but for me, it was one of the best times of my life. I reconnected with a lot of people. I reconnected to my family. And I even found a puzzle club because it was my hobby. So lesson number 3 is that find mundane things, find simple things to make you feel alive again. But then my former boss called me, and this charming Italian guy, who you all know, convinced me that I needed to go back to work. And I was so ready to retire that I cried for 24 hours. So this is the first meeting I went through. There were 3 very, very angry guys called CJ, Mark Patterson, and Damien Black, and they said there's a very, very urgent tone there that they said, you need to start a media operation in Brazil. So 10 minutes after my meeting, this is how I looked like. I was so out of my limit, and this is lesson number 4. Just be careful with how much you stretch yourself. So I called my boss again, and I said, I'm so sorry, I can do that. Forget it. I'm ready to retire. I have enough money. I'm going to live a simple life, putting puzzles together. So I don't need more money. I just need to retire. So he is a cancer survivor himself, so he convinced me to take a deep breath and go back. We are going to find a way. So this is lesson number 5. Work with someone that cares about you as a human being, not only as a professional. And I'm so grateful that I found my boss and found WPP to be able to work like that. And this is actually my first event after cancer. So I'm trying to follow my own rules and not pushing myself too hard. So if I get too tired, I'll just go back to the hotel and get some rest. So this is actually lesson number 6. Try to change FOMO for JOMO. Try to find real joy in missing things. For me, it was the hardest part, and I had to have some outside help on that. But my most important lesson is this one. Please do a colonoscopy. I know it's fun. I know there's a lot of stigma around it, but if you are a risk patient with 35 years old, you should take the first one. With 45, if you don't have any history in your family. But just go there and do it because it can save your life.